What is going on, pro wrestling fans? Welcome back to Squared Circle Speak. I am Ryan, and finally back from his sickness. It's my co-host, Nathan.
One day, finally.
If you missed last week, I had to do the show, or tomorrow. Yeah, Jesus Christ. If you missed yesterday, I had to do the show by myself because Nathan was a little under the weather. But yeah, so this is Friday, which means it's time for our last video of the week, but we are going out in style with our pay-per-view review of New Blood Rising, the pay-per-view that happened all the way back on August 13th, 2000. So it is very timely as this was happened this week in 2000, 24 years ago. The attendance for this show is 6,614 people, buy rate of 85,000. That's not good.
No.
That is not good. That is one of their lowest buy rates. It ranks like almost let's see, yeah, it's pretty low there on the buy rate. It lost a lot because the year before was Road Wild, and it did really well in the buy rate. So this show was not. I don't think anyone was ready for this match, and then this show, and then I can see why, because this show was awful.
All right. Yeah, it was not great. I mean, this first match was okay, except for some convoluted rules here.
Yeah, so the show kicked off with the Young Dragons and 1, 2, count. Britney Spears is kind of cute.
So, yeah. So the Young Dragons, for people that may not know, Ryan, because this was back in 2000, don't you know?
Yes, I guess we will explain it.
So it was made up of Jamie Noble,
Jamie Stein.
Oh, sorry, Jamie Samba. It's Jamie Noble. You got to say what people know, so people know who the hell he is. And Jimmy Wang Yang.
Yeah.
Is who he became, and Kaz Hayashi.
Yep.
And then on 3 count, you had Shane Helms, who became the Hurricane, Shannon Moore, and Evan Courageous, who just disappeared into the sunset. We never seen him again.
And so this was a quote double ladder match. There was a gold record and a recording contract hanging above the ring. You had to play on both, I guess, to win.
Yeah. So, and you had Tank Abbott for some reason out here.
Tank Abbott was 3 Count's biggest fan, apparently.
Okay.
That's why he was out there.
All right, so this match was crazy. A lot of crazy spots.
Well, what really threw me off is this match started off with 2 people in the ring as a normal 6-man tag.
That's fucked up.
And I was like, what is going on? And then they very quickly just started grabbing ladders and did a bunch of shit. It was a good match, but there was a lot of missteps and some botches early on.
No, there's a lot of convolutedness, Ryan. So we got so during this match, at one point, was it not a member of the Young Dragons that grabbed the gold record?
So one of the Jamie, I think it was Jamie Noble, grabbed the gold record, but it ended up in Tank Abbott's hands. But I guess you just had to grab the recording. I don't know, like I guess you had to grab both.
It said you had to grab both, but the Young Dragons grabbed one, and
yeah,
and then and then later in the match, this is another spot that either Tank Abbott just forgot who he was supposed to be rooting for or what, I don't know. But they're climbing up, one from each team. Tank Abbott gets in the ring. Pretty sure he's supposed to knock over one ladder because there's 2 ladders. And I'm pretty sure he's just supposed to knock over the Young Dragon ladder, but instead he knocks them both over. And so his own, like, he's supposed to be 3 Count's biggest fan, but he knocks over one of 3 Count.
Yeah, Shane Helms was on the ladder. Tank gets between 2 ladders, shows them both down, and then Courageous just goes up and grabs the contract. I think this was planned. Because I think pretty soon after this is when 3 Count broke up and Evan Courageous. So,
Yeah, but so I guess he was, you know, so was he not like just an Evan Courageous fan? Like what happened
hey,
here?
dude, so for context of us doing these pay-per-view reviews, we do not watch the lead up or what happened afterwards. So we go in blind on these pay-per-view these retro reviews. And
But
so I had no idea what happened after this, but
it
I
looked
think
like he just fucked up, like he forgot who he was supposed to put, so he just pushed them both.
it's fucking Tank Abbott.
Yeah.
There was one crazy spot where Kang and Yaz did a double splash off 2 ladders,
Yeah.
but it looked bad. Like it was weird because this match was good, but like it just maybe it was the WCW rings or the way that it just didn't feel as impactful as ladder matches in WWE around this same time with Edge and Christian and Hardy's. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just didn't feel like the moves were as big, even though they were. But to me, it just felt like maybe it was just the rings bigger, smaller, or something, or I don't
I
know.
think I think it's just because you're an e-drone.
Maybe. This was a decent match, despite being so confusing. It was a really good way to start the show off with some high action. Guy, it's all downhill from here, folks. So the next match, well, before that, the Filthy Animals were in Ernest Miller's office and said they were going to be a special ref in a 4 corners tag team match. So that sounds insane. So the next match was the Great Muta versus Ernest the Cat Miller. I wrote some notes here. My notes were I thought the cat was the heel, but I think Muta is the heel. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, what the fuck, Ryan? The Great Muta versus the Cat?
I don't. Yeah, the match was boring. Not much happened. Tigress came out, which in my notes, Tigress coming out is the best part of this match so far. So I'm gonna read this verbatim what I wrote. I feel like WCW didn't script any matches and they all just called it in the ring because it feels like what we did in the backyard. And what I
Well,
mean by that is they would go for something, the other person would just like cut them off or no sell or just do something else. Like it's like neither one of them knew what the other person was going to do before they did it.
right.
Like there were moments where Muta tried to do a move and Miller just said "fuck that" and like did something else. It was so
Well,
confusing.
and it's also because some of these guys are very inexperienced. I mean, Ernest the Cat Miller
Yeah.
was not a great wrestler.
Uh,
And to have him, why the hell was he wrestling the Great Muta of all people?
the announcer said something, but the announcing sucks. This was Mark Madden, Tony Scott Hudson, and Tony Schiavone, and this announcing crew was awful. So I tuned them out a lot. They mentioned something of why they were wrestling, but anyway, Muta hit the miss on the cat, which I guess is not a disqualification. The ref used his shirt to wipe it off, so that's cool. Tigress came off the top with a chair. It looked bad. The crowd booed. Muta kicked out anyway, but then the cat ended up hitting a feliner and won the match. Tigress came out because apparently the Filthy Animals in the office said they were going to help. They were going to guarantee his victory against Muta. So we're convoluted already. We're only 2 matches in, Nathan.
I'm telling you what, Ryan. I don't understand why every one of their matches has to be so freaking.
Yeah.
I have like confusing.
So match 3, I wrote, "Oh my god, it's this match." I don't have the words. This was the Judy Bagwell on a pole match. Canyon versus Bagwell. Now, the rules of this was if Canyon wins, Judy Bagwell had to be his valet, but he spent the whole time making fun of her. So why did he want her to be his valet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you get why? Like, I don't understand what this.
Probably so he can make fun of him some more. I guess.
I guess. I said the story makes no sense. Seeing Buff as a face is very weird. One of the highlights was Canyon hit a sit-out Alabama Slam, which was fucking awesome. That's about all I got. David Arquette came out. For whatever reason, he had a hard hat on. For whatever reason, Arquette hit Bagwell in the head with the hard hat right in front of the ref. No disqualification. So cool.
Anything goes in a pole match, Ryan. I guess.
I guess, but there were rope breaks and there were count outs. So Anyway, Arquette hit a double blockbuster on both Arquette and Canyon. Bagwell won. After the match, Canyon hit a Canyon cutter on Arquette. Holy shit, this was bad. Like, what the fuck were they thinking with this shit, man?
I don't know. So in this one pitch show, we had a gold record and a contract on a ladder match, and Judy Bagwell on a pole. How
Yeah.
much stuff is hanging from this ring today?
I don't know, but every match felt like there was some sort of stipulation almost. So the next match is the fatal four-way tag team match. It's the Misfits in action versus Jindrak and O'Hare versus the Perfect Event, which is Palumbo and Stasiak, versus Chronic. So we have a four-way tag match with the Filthy Animals as the special referees. Disco's in the ring. The rest of them are outside of the ring. Hey, Nathan, did you know that the Filthy Animals got it like that?
Oh my god!
Because Conan said it on commentary 40 fucking times. Fuck. I was about to turn it off, dude. O'Hare is great. He was so good. He was so underrated. Sean O'Hare was fucking amazing. Conan on commentary took me out of this match. Vampiro and Muto ran out. Didn't do anything, so I'm not sure why.
Vampiro and who?
Vampiro and Muta came out.
Oh my god!
Tried to beat up Chronic, but they didn't do anything. Towards the end of this match, the referee gets taken out. Lieutenant Loco, who is a member of MIA, puts a referee shirt on and counts the 3 count for Chronic to win, but not the MIA.
What the hell?
WCW booking, man. I have no idea. And then they all celebrate. Chronic and the MIA all celebrated together, with Chronic becoming the new tag team champions.
I have no idea.
I was lost. I don't know why Muta and Vampiro came out. So then we had the next match was a strap match. Shane Douglas versus Billy Kidman. I was never a big fan of Shane Douglas. Kidman was cool, but the best part of this match is Tori Wilson. Towards this into this match, Shane Douglas is pushed into Wilson. She doesn't even really sell it, and Kidman wins. She gets pushed by a grown man and doesn't do anything.
Oh my god!
This was a stinker of a match. This was just nothing happened. This was just boring. After the match, Franchise tries to choke out Kidman. He wraps the strap around him and like hangs him above the ring. Like over the ropes. But then for some reason, Vito comes out, who we just talked about yesterday, which is very confusing timing. Vito comes out and runs off Douglas. Kidman literally just got choked, Nathan. He's got choked in the corner. He stands up right after this and walks away, which made me laugh so fucking hard because the dude just about passed out. He just fucking stands up.
Oh my god!
But then Reno comes out and attacks Vito. What the fuck is happening?
Oh my god! This show, WCW at this time was just like, I feel like the wrestlers didn't even know what was happening, or they didn't give they just didn't care.
In the back, Booker T arrived. Jeff Jarrett attacked him and slammed his knee into the door. That comes into play in the main event. The next match is Major Guns versus Miss Hancock in a ROTC match, which stands for Rip Off the Camouflage.
Jesus Christ!
But this is not a brawl and panties match because there's a mud pit, you see, and they say, the announcers say it 1,000 times, you have to win in the mud pit. But immediately they're just pinning each other in the ring.
Oh my god!
They eventually, all their clothes are off. They get into the mud pit. The announcers are fucking awful. Major Guns wins. Miss Hancock grabs her stomach. This is the start of, I guess this is the start or the beginning of the Hancock pregnancy angle thing. So,
oh my god!
this was awful. The announcing in this match was just...
that is peak crappy WCW booking there. I mean, honestly, that's just peak crappy Vince Russo booking.
Yeah, this was awful. So here we go. The next match is the Demon versus Sting. Sting repels from the rafters. The Demon starts beating him up. Sting still has the grapple hook on. Fucking great. He's still wearing it. Gets in the ring. Stinger splash, Scorpion Death Drop. It's over in 52 seconds.
What the fuck?
Yep. After this match, Muta and Vampiro are back again to try to take out Sting. They try to hang Sting. Another hanging, Nathan. This time they put the rappel around his neck and try to hang him, but Chronic come out and attack Muta and Vampiro. Vampiro and Muta have been on the show 3 fucking times already.
Yeah, and apparently they're feuding with 3 different people.
Yeah, they really tried to push Vampiro. Like, they tried. So then we go to the biggest, dumbest fucking shit I've ever watched in my entire life. Mike Awesome versus Lance Storm for the Canadian/United States Championship. My notes say, why was Mark Madden ever added to commentary? He is awful.
Well, on paper, this would be a good match.
I wrote this down. I said, this should be great. I am expecting a decent match. Before the match, Lance says there's going to be a special ref, and the fans start chanting for Brett, but it's Jacques Rougeau, and the fans make no noise.
Yeah.
So Awesome pinned him very quickly with a powerbomb, but Rougeau calls it off and says Canadian rules say you have to win with the 5 count. Awesome makes Lance Storm tap out, but again, Jacques Rougeau says you cannot win by submission in Canada. I wrote, never mind, this match sucks. Awesome hits a splash, gets a 5 count. Jacques Rougeau again says that after a 5 count, the other person has to answer a 10. They go through a table, which apparently is, there's no rules in WCW, so whatever. Both men are down, and Jacques says the first man to stand up is declared the winner, the champion. I said, what a way to ruin a potential great match. Lance Storm gets up first after Jacques hits him with the rule book and wins. What a shit show. You made your United States champion get beat 3 fucking times. What the fuck was this?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Then Bret Hart came out, hugged Storm, and that was it.
I get what they were going for,
Yeah.
trying to make Lance Storm, a dickhead heel where he kept changing the rules and stuff. But at some point, whenever they do this, you think the wrestlers realize, hey, this is a little overboard.
He got beat 3 times. He got pinned. He got made to submit, and he got pinned with a 5 count. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This was god awful. You had the potential to have one of the best matches in WCW history with these two, and it just became a shit show.
Guess what, Ryan? The next match we got appearance number 4.
Yeah.
For Vampiro and Muta.
So then we had an impromptu match between the Dark Carnival, Vampiro and Muta versus Chronic. So Vampiro and Muta is back. They've seen him, and I said, oh, seeing Chronic twice and Vampiro and Muta 4 times has taken the crowd completely out of this show.
What were they thinking?
I said, Muta is slow, Vampiro is slow, this is boring. Muta missed the ref. Chronic slowly tried to do the high time. Vampiro kind of interrupts. The Harris brothers show up, attack Chronic. Muta hits a moonsault, and we have new tag team champions.
Good Lord.
This match sucked. All 4 men didn't seem like they even cared to be there, and it was the slowest plotting match I've ever seen. But we get worse. Because let me tell you guys, this next match is a real fucking doozy. So it's supposed to be a triple threat between Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, and Goldberg. The story behind this is apparently Goldberg was at Sturgis and got injured, so they didn't know if he was going to show up. Now, the announcers kept saying, who is going to go over? As if someone's not going to play by the rules of wrestling, Nathan, and someone may not try to go over. Oh my God!
I can't believe they used that back in 2000.
I mean, I knew even in 2000, like everyone kind of knew wrestling was fake, but
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ. So Goldberg's music hits. He didn't show up. Goldberg's music hit again. He didn't show up. It's one-on-one Sting and Steiner and Nash. The announcers kept talking like it's going to turn into a shoot instead of being a worked match. Goldberg shows up. It's a triple threat. One of the funniest moments of this match was Nash trying to get into the ring and he like fucking almost tripped over the top rope. And I was like, well, that sums up WCW. Like, uh, they're just hitting each other, throwing shit, slow, big men wrestling. Nash with the big boot goes for the jackknife. Goldberg pushes it away and just walks away. Vince Russo comes out, gets in Goldberg's face. Goldberg says, fuck you, and leaves. The announcers say, I think Goldberg was supposed to go up for the jackknife, but didn't want to do it.
oh my God.
Nadeja somehow took out the ref. I'm not sure how that happened. I didn't see. Did she low blow him or something? I don't know. The referee fell down. She hits Nash with a low blow. Nash hits Steiner with the low blow. They're both down. Nadeja drops an elbow on his dick, which is just ridiculous. Nash kicks out. So unfortunately, the match continued. Nash did a DDT, which I've never seen before. Nadeja comes in again. Steiner jumps on Nash's back. Nash hits him with the big boot, hits the jackknife, and he wins. And the announcers go, see, Goldberg, Steiner went up for the jackknife.
Oh my God. Dude.
What were they?
It's Vince Russo.
But like, what was this accomplishing?
A shock factor. That's all it was, is trying to. What did the wrestlers think whenever Vince Russo told them this is what we're going to do? You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for real, what were they thinking? All you're doing is taking all your fans out because none of them want to, as much as they say they want to know what's going on backstage, they don't really want to know.
I mean, but this was fake. Like, you did a fake, real, weird, like, and everyone knew it was fake. Like, and everyone knew Goldberg, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Everyone know Goldberg didn't actually walk away. So, like, you're doing a work shoot and no one cared.
Yeah, that's completely fucked.
And without the commentary, you had to think that people in the crowd were had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just dumb. So then we still have one more match. We got the main event, Booker T, Jeff Jarrett. I mean, it's a Jeff Jarrett match. Jeff, it's his 24 years later. He's still having the exact same match. Like, I don't know. So in some matches, rules matter, in others they don't. Because they were using chairs and shit. No disqualification again. Yeah. This is a normal match, by the way. There's no stipulation here. They didn't care. They were all over the arena. Booker T hit the axe kick at some point. And during his spin to Rooney, hit the ref. So we have a ref bump in a match where they fought outside and used the chair earlier. Why not? Jeff hit Booker with the guitar and the knee. He puts him in the figure four, but Booker T gets to the ropes, but, well, I guess whatever. And then we have a table spot, which, again, no disqualification. The ref then starts counting a 10 count. Why? Because you haven't been calling DQs this whole fucking match, but now we're going to have a count out. Jeff hits the referee with a chair. And then he hits a stroke on the chair. Charles Robinson comes in, gets two. Then Booker T did an awkward neck breaker / RKO style on the chair. Jeff Jarrett didn't know what he was going for, and he kind of went face first into the chair. Jeff Jarrett at one point goes to the middle rope. Booker T caught him. Jeff countered into the bookend. Booker T wins. What a weird show. And immediately, this match is over. Immediately, they showed the crowd, everyone just up and leaving. They were throwing stuff in the ring. Like, a good guy won. Booker T is the good guy in this match, and the fans were throwing shit in the ring. This was one of the worst things I've ever fucking watched in my life. As a we watched that Nitro, and it was kind of bad, but it was a TV show. This might be the worst pay-per-view I've ever fucking watched. This was all. There was not a redeeming quality to anything here. Maybe the ladder match, and even that was so confusing that I.
Yeah, this was the height. This was the absolute height of the worst booking in pro wrestling history.
Oh, this
and
was, yeah.
and it, like, I don't know who gave Vince Russo full reign to do whatever the fuck he wanted, but good God Almighty, like this is.
How did anyone keep track of any of this?
It's impossible. Every match just felt like a clusterfuck. And yeah, the crowd was completely done. They were done with this shit, like, immediately. And I don't know. Tell me, this is one thing I wanted to talk about. In WCW, did the announcers and the referees, especially Tony Schiavone as the announcer, and when Bobby Heenan was the announcer too, and the referee, did they nobody tell them what's going on?
Apparently not.
Because these referees, had no idea what the rules were in these matches. The announcers had no idea what the rules were in these matches, and it's like, you think they'd fill them in a little bit here.
Yeah, you would think, but apparently they didn't. Because no,
it was like that all the time in WCW. So yeah, this was a really, really bad pay-per-view. In the comment section, please request a good pay-per-view for us to review for a retro review, because we got to wash the taste out of our mouth after this one.
I'm just gonna say that after this pay-per-view, the pay-per-view buys went down until like 2001 came around, and I guess people decided to give it a chance because they started booking differently in 2001. But for the remainder of the year, it went from 85,000 to 75,000 to 70,000 to 55,000 to 50,000.
Yeah.
Like, this was the beginning. This was August of 2000. I think most of the people just gave up at this point. Like, this was such a shit show.
And I know it's kind of like AEW, where the wrestlers didn't care because they were just collecting a paycheck. And I think that's what it was. I mean, yeah, a lot of them probably were frustrated.
Well, how do you, like, who?
Because like Kevin Nash and those guys, like, how could they be involved in a match like that? You know, where they're blatantly talking about shit, and then they're referencing backstage stuff and the match is just complete ass. Like, they just had to be just like fucking around, and they were just like, yeah, fuck it, we're collecting money, we don't care, we'll shit on the business, we don't care, we're getting paid. Like, that was the mindset in WCW in 2000, I guess. Because nobody cared.
I guess dude, my brain watching this show, like, it fucking rotted my brain. I think, like, this was one of the worst things I've watched from, like there's some pay-per-views that have bad moments, but there's usually a standout match. Like, there's one match that you can go back to. There is nothing on the show that I will ever rewatch ever.
No.
Like, there's not a redeeming quality to anything on this show, from the top to the bottom. This show is just disgusting. Like, it's the bookings all over the place. They fucking run-ins every match. No rules anymore. Like, they can do what they want. Some referees have have countouts for no reason. Some referees are pinned. I don't even think any of the referees know any of the rules anymore. Like, this was the worst thing I've ever watched. Please, on our next retro review, let's watch something that's good, because I am.
Like I said in the comment section, please.
Man. I mean, the reason I did this is because WWE recently trademarked New Blood Rising. So I felt like it was, something we could watch, and it took place in August. So it was kind of on the notes. And it was something that I thought we could watch. But yeah, I'm done. I think I'm done talking about this shit show. This was one of the worst things I've ever watched. This was a disgrace to pro wrestling. Like, this wasn't even wrestling. I don't know what it was, but this was not pro wrestling. So
definitely not. All right. So I don't know how you could like this, but if you like us shitting on WCW, if you like it, hit the like button, and if you want to subscribe to more retro reviews, which are hopefully better than this one, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to let you know when we're going to put up another one of these retro reviews. And hopefully we get some good ones because the last couple have been too bad.
Yeah, we're not on a good roll. We need something good. So thank you. Like Nathan said, like, comment, subscribe, share it around. Next week we're going to be doing our all-in predictions, and then we'll have some other fun stuff as well. For Nathan, I am Ryan, and we'll see you next week on Squared Circle Speak.
Later.